in 2018, I was Teddy Roosevelt. I don't know if in the early 1900s, if it was just colder back then, but there's layers, much like Dino knows because odors have layers.
Like an onion.
And onions.
And onions.
Onions have layers. Odors have layers. So it was just hot. Like it was like a jacket with a coat under it, and just like Jesus Christ, it's California, Southern California. It is too hot for Teddy Roosevelt. I was sweating the whole night. Fucked that costume, but also I look great in it. So.
Because I actually used to cosplay a lot before everything got shut down, and every time I think back to anytime I wear a cosplay, like I've dressed up as Diva from Overwatch a couple times, and I've done like her big Lolita outfit, which is a big dress and like the cute ears and everything. I was dying because I went to Dragon Con, and it was in August, and I live in Georgia, and it's pretty hot in August in Georgia,
and
by
it's
the way.
Humid in Georgia.
And it's humid, so I literally lasted like 2 hours, and I was like, I have to get out of this thing. I literally bought like pants and a shirt like right nearby, and I was like, this needs to go. I changed like instantly. It was so bad. So I can't imagine how you're wearing that outfit.
Yeah. So this year I'm just happy. It's like a long sleeve shirt, khakis, done. Like super easy.
It's got to be the same feeling as like when people are singing "Happy Birthday" to you.
Yes. Dude,
right?
I have literally I have a rule with my family. If you sing happy birthday, I will get up and leave the room till you're done. I'm not doing this.
That seems like a lot of work.
For them to do the song or to get up and leave?
To get up and leave.
It's like, what, 10 steps? Are you that lazy?
Yes.
No,
I am, actually.
See, that's like a level of spite that I wouldn't want to commit to for the rest of my life. Like,
yeah, then you're going to be that guy who walked away during happy birthday, right? Like,
you can't be that guy.
I'm just still living on the high of the fact that I got Orange's reference to Diva, and I'm like, I play Overwatch. I know who those characters are. Look at me. Yeah. I know things as an old person. I feel great.
I didn't. Yeah. I just went. Yeah.
Your generation is wasted. It's done. You guys are kids of an apocalypse that never happened.
We've gone so generations. We've come out the other side, back to Gen X. And now it's with Dino.
This is I'll survive the apocalypse because I just have energy stores walking around with me. It's great.
Yeah, it's going to be that movie, The Road, but instead of like a harrowing journey of a father and his son, it's just Dino walking around, gradually losing weight, and he's like, "What? I'm fine.
It's like
I'm good."
It's a little hot, a little dusty, but it's good. No clam hands. It's good.
I think we could look like 3 years into whatever post-apocalyptic environment, and people are emaciated. You can see everyone's ribs because it's really hard to get food, and then Dino's just walking around, just shredded.
Yeah,
like he's been working. He's had enough.
He's like a svelte, shredded.
Yeah.
I'll be walking around in a loincloth, just be like, apocalypse is great.
Dino the Barbarian. Yeah.
100%. That's exactly. I've banked on that happening at some point in my life while I can still walk around. That's really, the pictures are going to be great.
So a food desert is a place, it's like, it's a town or whatever, where there is not a lot of options in terms of healthy food. So like you have one grocery store maybe, and like all they can carry is like, chemical loaded bullshit. If you want to go to like the nearest healthy grocery store or whatever, or like a farmer's market, it's like 3 hours that way.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty unfortunate.
Yeah. It's very much a thing in like
and even in their
America,
produce section, like you're getting like iceberg lettuce.
And that's it. Yeah, like that's
wow. Dang, I feel privileged where I'm at. I don't have this problem at all.
I mean, it's not really a thing in LA, but like outside of LA, you got a lot of that in the rest of California.
The village from Tremors. Like it's got one place, and that's it. Your options are fight a giant snake that's underground, or a hot dog.
All right, here's the Wikipedia definition. A food desert is an area that has limited access to affordable and nutritious food, in contrast to with an area with higher access to supermarkets or vegetable shops with fresh food, which is called a food oasis.
Wow.
So in other words, people who are not able to live in communities, but also too dumb to figure out farming. That's what it really is.
The customer's always right, no matter what. Like that policy is like
vomit.
Very, very to the point. Like they don't care what needs to be done to make sure that they're happy when they leave. Like it doesn't matter if we're giving them free food.
I don't want to talk to anybody when I go to the grocery store. Grocery
I'm the
stores
same
put my headphones in, shop for the gross shit that I want to buy, put it in the self-checkout, and leave without talking to a soul.
I don't know what it is about people here, but they come here and it's like they're asking to talk to you. Like they'll be like I remember one time I got stuck with a customer for 25 minutes and they're going on and on about their mom, their dad, their dog's sister, the dog's sister's wife. And I'm over here like, yeah, cool. I guess I'll kill 25 minutes. I don't know. You're not leaving me alone, so I guess this is part of my life now. But yeah, it's just how the company. It's very hard. Like if you're having a bad day, or if you just really don't feel like being a slave for a day, it can be kind of hard. Like that job you have to have a very specific mentality. But granted,
if you don't feel like being a slave.
Because that's how it feels sometimes. Like there are some times where you are 100% in the right, and it doesn't matter what you say or do, and you're still somehow in the wrong. Like and the manager will even tell you're in the wrong, and it doesn't happen too often. And sometimes, for the most part, it's good. And the company treats employees very well, so like it's kind of like a mixed bag. But sometimes there are points where you just kind of feel like you're like this little pea, and it just sucks.
Sounds like Scientology to me.
I feel like it's like I'll never get a job there. Like that's just right out there. That's never gonna happen.
I believe it. You can't be
the barrier not being that you're in a different country.
This is what you can't be right here.
You can't be yourself. That's all. That's what kind of sucks about it. You have to conform to a certain mentality.
The original saying wasn't "customer was always right." It's "customer is always right in matters of taste," which means that you can't give them shit like "don't yuck on their yum," but they can be wrong about shit like, "Hey, can I change my kid's diaper in the aisle?" No, you can't. That has nothing to do with taste. There's a bathroom. Get the fuck over there.
Yeah, no, but I find that people no longer have that understanding of what is acceptable and unacceptable for public behavior, right? Like a child.
Definitely. Yeah.
Well, that's like a child is going to cry in public because it's a child. It doesn't know any better, right? Like that's like there's certain degrees, but then you have people who just freak out because did you know? Stop right there. Get out. Just no more. Just leave. It's not. This isn't a TED Talk. This is a place of business. There's no benefit to any of that kind of interaction. That's why, like as you said, Atlas, not wanting to interact with people. I live my entire life not wanting to interact with people unless it's from a convenient distance, like this. That's why I'm like. Aside from that, people are like, "Hey, you gonna come out?" I'm like, "Nah, I'm gonna stay home with my wife."
He's the only one who I know who hasn't gotten the vaccine, not because he quote did his own research or because he's afraid of needles or whatever. He's the only one I know who's doing it because he just doesn't want to interact with anybody, and that's his reason.
Yeah, that's great.
It's like you're Larry David putting on the MAGA hat so people will leave you alone.
I'm not anti-vax. I'm pro-pandemic. Isolating everybody is spot. That's exactly the way I want to live.
Like pro-pandemic.
You got. I was
promised
spit take across my entire laptop. You got this close. You're this close.
Then that means we've succeed as a podcast.
Yeah, I think so.
But there you get that one person that irritates you, and you just don't want to do it for the rest of the day.
Yeah. The one that stuck out in my mind the most was one time I called, a dude who graduated in like the 90s or whatever, and I get a little girl, and they'll be like, "Hi, I'm calling for this guy. Is he home?" She's like, "Yeah, that's my dad. 1 second, Daddy. It's someone from UCR. He sounds fat," and then hands him the phone.
Oh!
So the guy picks up the phone. I'm like, "I'm sorry, your daughter. I can't. Your daughter wins. Bye." Like, just hung up. My manager comes over and he's like, "What was that?" And I'm like, "He said I sounded fat." And he goes, "Yeah, go to the break room. Take a minute." Like,
no,
that's
did you
fair.
say no? The young child.
Yeah.
Said you sound
fat. But it was like someone said he sounds fat.
That is a great way to derail the conversation. You sound a lot fatter than you look. I think that is the key to interactions after the pandemic.
Are you full really and like break people's like spirit with little stuff like that?
I think so.
Are you really breathy on the phone?
No.
Like, that's the only way I'm thinking. Like, how does one sound fat?
Exactly.
Like,
how do you sound fat?
Unless you sound out of breath.
I guess if you're
by
like
the
eating a
activity of
sandwich or
talking.
sound like you have multiple chins.
You know what?
Like,
But I think it's more of a
I was playing Overwatch the other night and I forgot to unmute or to mute my mic, and someone was like, "Hey man, just stop breathing into the mic. Are you okay? Do you need help?" And I was like, "No, just fat." He's like, "Ooh, I think it's time for some life changes." And I was like, I had zero response because I just didn't realize. The thing is, if I have it in here, I'm like, it's just right in there. I'm like, oh, I forgot. My bad. Yeah.
Sounds like you're going up a steep set of stairs.
It sounded like I was on a Fellowship of the Ring by myself. Like that's like, no, you've gone too far, friend. You should reevaluate your life. And I was like, I'm just gonna mute myself now. Thanks for that.
I gotta say, trash talk has come a long way before like kill yourself. Like before it was like kill yourself, calling people your mom, the F word, and now it's like, you all right, buddy? You okay?
And that breaks your spirit way more when they're genuinely empathetic. It's like,
okay. 100%. Absolutely.
Hey, like after this game, do you want to just like hop in a Discord? We could chat it out.
Yeah.
And you're just like, fuck you, man.
Yeah, you're like, I don't need your pity, you son of a bitch. I paid for this fat, and I'm carrying it well. It's not, you think, but
I have gout, but I'm carrying it well.
Oh god.
Maybe sad, but it'll be okay.
That's the thing is usually I don't interact with people, and I was like, I'm like, no. Just gonna mute my mic now.
So then your wife came by, like, what was that? And she's like, and you're like, he said, I need to make life decisions. Like, go hit the break room, take 5.
No, I'm playing Overwatch with tears running down my face, going, "No, everything is gonna be fine, honey. It's okay. I'm almost done this round, and I think we might win."
If I'm in proximity with this person, maybe they'll notice me and like me. That's not how that works at all.
Well, this is the thing is listen, you can't live life with the expectation of others adoring you when you're not even a fan of who you are as a human being. That's just not how it works.
Jesus Christ, Dino, coming in with the poignancy.
Yeah, coming in with the poignancy. And, listen, social media makes that worse. Bam, we come full circle.
We have that's the whole thing is you have the illusion of what people think you are. Like what people think of you is never any of your business. It's really not, right? And if it's a problem, someone will bring it to your attention. But you have to be comfortable with who you are as a human being before you can actually achieve, for lack of a better word, what you're destined to do with your life, right? Like, and that's the hardest part is like for me, people are like, okay, so I know this is going to sound weird. When I was much younger, I was very harsh as a person.
What?
And I had to learn to not be as harsh. And then I realized I don't really give a shit about other people's feelings. So now I just try and not be as harsh unless someone really antagonizes me. And I'm like, hey, I'm going to ruin your entire self-image. And then I do that.
To be fair, Dino says nothing to strangers, even like if they're out of line or whatever. He says nothing. But the people that he cares about or that he's close to, he will eviscerate you.
That's pretty true.
Which is
he will Photoshop you on on a Pixar villain and then show it to you for the rest of your life.
Yeah,
there you go.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Or the bearded syndrome.
I like how you took the picture of me with the dilated right eye.
I really enjoy that picture.
Hey, as soon as you sent it, I'm like, that's it. That's the one I'm going to use.
Here's the moment.
Yeah.